Now hear me out. I'm a sucker when it comes to fight scenes. When it comes to fight scenes, usually in movies, series, or in video games, I usually tend to love them most of the time. Some fight scenes can end up looking good, while some of them end up looking pretty bad. Now look, I'm not coming across as some analytic that can make professional fight scenes. I'm mostly just some 15-year-old kid who just lets its creativity run wild, but I can tell there are some people who still haven't improved their craftsmanship, and I might have to tell a few how to improve their supposed craftsmanship. I'm gonna leave that sounds pretty cool. Now, before we even begin with this simple how-to, or just me trying my best to help out these animators, there's a little something called not everyone starts out by being the very best. There are some mountains or some tips and tricks that everyone has to do in order to become one of the best and probably one of everyone's favorite animators. Now, there are two animators that still have a couple of mistakes when it comes to their animations, especially their fight scenes. My first tip, or my first step into improving your fight scenes, try your best not to make your animations feel Dragon Ball-like. Now look, I know there might be some people that might complain that there's not a lot of animators that do these types of animation styles, and while I do agree with you, there is one person that keeps up with this animation style, and I feel like they have to try and improve a bit to go away from that certain style. That animator being Epico's Instagram friend, Sans. Now, I have to admit, the animation does look pretty good, but the two complaints I have with this is that 1, the animation feels a bit janky at times, and 2, the viewer wouldn't exactly understand what in the hell is going on. So it just comes off as two characters fighting insanely fast to see who can come out as the victor. Now, Gacha Club is sometimes a gacha app, but it can also be an animation app. But the second tip that I have for animators from Adobe Flash, Flip-a-Clip, anywhere else including Gacha, tip number 2, don't make your animations have one frame where the fight scene's happening and then just involve another scene with that fight scene, but keep that animation. Leanne Animations DC makes that mistake. Now, I have to admit, her new animations sorta don't have this problem, but that doesn't mean that there's a couple of critiques that I have to give. Mainly, during the fight scene between two characters, sometimes the characters just do the action, then a couple of seconds they just stop, and then the next shot happens in that same fight scene, but it feels as if you just wasted 2 seconds of your life. Now, Leanne isn't exactly the only one that has this problem. Ronin Roblox also has this animation problem. Now, during the same episode of Leanne's series, mainly Legend of the Sun Hybrid, episode 18, Ronin does this one shot of him running across these little flames. It only takes 3 seconds before it goes up to the next frame to kill off the bad guy in his own point of view. Now, in my opinion, the only person that doesn't have these animation errors, kinda, is Epico. Now, unless if Leanne and Ronin can improve on their animations, Epico is what would happen if Master Puppet essentially trained you in his animation style, and this would be the final result. But this is the new Epico's animation style. The old Epico's animation style looked drastically different, to the point where it kinda had the same janky movement like Sans animations. Now, just because Epico has a good animation style doesn't mean that he has a little bit of errors on his own. Like, you can kinda see the green screens at one point, but they're only visible if you only see the character and not by the screen. Now, I would try and explain more improvements to see if people would try and improve their fight scenes, but I'm not an expert analytic myself, so I'm gonna have to end it right here. If those 2 random tips I gave to each and every one of you helped you out, then congratulations! I appreciate your hard-earned effort, and I'm proud of you. Why don't I say that in a joking manner? I'm actually proud of them. What the fuck? Anyways, this is Xerix, signing off.